It's no different.
That's great.
I honestly, like, my title does not matter, honestly.
She deserves it. She
Oh,
matters.
yeah.
Of course it matters.
Honestly, I will, whatever I need to do for this community, I'm willing to do.
That's great. I'm happy. Very happy.
I'm honored, but it's one word, nature breathes.
Yeah.
It is,
It
but
is.
I think for me, just being here and starting on the ground level, because I
Yes.
came in as community standards manager.
Right.
So all I did was compliance and design and review, which was a great decompression for me because I had 17 associations before I came to Providence. And so I had about 5,600 doors in my portfolio
Yeah.
prior to coming here. So it was just kind of like preparing me for this very moment, and
Yeah.
it just kind of came full circle.
It was perfect. And then you serve multiple roles.
Exactly.
And especially help with the House Bill report.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a huge it's expertise that you built and to get to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, a lot of the people that, even in the community standards position, I was able to connect with people because that's when people are most engaged, when they're doing, work on their property or they're receiving compliance letters. And so it was easy for me to build a rapport in that respect. So, good morning. How are you?
Exhausting, right? I had 2 hospital visits this weekend for 2 different people. I'm like, I need a vacation.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm a little exhausted right now. How you guys all doing?
Better than you, I think.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, let's go ahead and start the meeting at 9:04. Let's go over the old business, review and consider May 24, 2021 draft meeting minutes. Anybody want to make a motion? A second motion,
we accept the minutes.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Action item. May 2021 audit financial report. Questions?
And just for the record, Larry Kearns is present. He's just on the phone, just so you guys know. So
Okay.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, good morning, Larry.
Hi.
I think there's one item I love. Some sidewalk repair.
The precision concrete.
Yeah, where is that?
So we do that every year for trip hazards in the park, just to mitigate any potential liability. So if anybody is in the parks and there's uneven pavement or anything like that, we actually get them shaved down when it's more than like a quarter of an inch. And so we do that every year at all of the parks.
Okay, so that's not just like one sidewalk, it's the whole entire.
It's
park,
Huckleberry
and then-
Promenade and Knickerbocker. It's all 3 parks.
Okay. I just didn't remember, I know I walked by, I remember looking at a lot of repair was that.
Yeah, so they typically go out like a month before, they mark the areas, and then we bring it to the board's attention as far as the areas that are considered to be trip hazards, and the board at their March meeting. I think it was the March meeting where they actually approved it,
Okay,
and it was taken care of in the month between April and May.
okay. And also last month I brought up about the bathroom cleaning at the park.
Correct, so we did get proposals, and those will be provided to the board at their July meeting.
Oh, good, because I'm also looking at the budget for the janitor contract is much higher than what we paid. And I think during the summer months, we really need to issue that, those back.
Are those new bids or just updated bids?
Updated bids to include the requested frequency as per the last meeting.
When there's repairs done in the promenade, 'cause I'm sure you guys know, when we walked it this morning, there are now 5.
Bollards.
Yeah,
That is terrible. There were some new ones this morning, 5, and then 1 that's got the top up. Does that come out of the landscape, or would that come out of just general?
It would go under GL 6966, or I'm sorry, 699, which is miscellaneous repairs.
Okay, I wondered about that this morning. Then my question that too was done is, I'm assuming that the bad debt expense is, anyway, I can say this, I really, dues,
Correct.
okay.
just homeowners haven't paid dues or
Yeah.
assessments, not say dues, but assessments.
Yeah.
And then once they start the collection process, whether it be in-house with the 60-day, hopefully that will get their attention. But typically when it does cross over to the collection agency and they do receive that certified mail, we typically get a lot of phone calls. They'll bypass the collection agency and call us directly before dealing with them.
Seems like that number increased a little bit.
It typically, but it will fluctuate, especially when assessments have been built out.
Yeah.
You'll see that fluctuation.
And I guess I didn't notice the office rental. Since that went up, is that?
So it only went up currently because the board hasn't decided if they want to renew the lease here. And so because there is not a lease in place, the landlord did increase because we are a holdover tenant right now. So we did increase it by 1.25%. So initially it's just, right now we're waiting for the board to render a decision if we're going to renew this leasing space or if they're going to make another decision and remove us from the site.
Will that 1.9% maintain if they choose to renew the lease? Will that increase stay?
So he's not wanting to renew. He wants us to be here. He did a lot of improvements to this area specifically for the association to remain on site as far as the management company. But the 1.25% is just him enforcing the lease agreement because we are a holdover tenant, but he's not wanting to increase the rent. The
That's
rent will
not
stay
part
as
of the
is.
lease, just a holdover.
Correct. It's just a holdover.
Do you know what the reasoning is behind the board wanting to maybe move?
Well, we actually didn't know about the lease renewal until the last meeting. And we would have liked to have been able to look at other options and look at this option. We just didn't know that it was up, so.
So when is the board gonna make a decision?
It's on the agenda for the next meeting. I don't know if the decision will be made at that meeting but it'll be on the agenda for the next meeting.
And just on the water fees, thank you for sending the report last month, but it's very cumbersome. So I'm gonna have a request if it's possible, because it's on the Excel spreadsheet. Is any way we could look at month to month, say, for example, look at comparison of
January to January.
January to January, and then you can put the meter right next to each other, like 2020 and then 2021. That will provide and I'm sure there's Excel spreadsheet, you can just do a couple things, and that way will make it so much easier for me to try to go back and look at which meter is which and to do that comparison.
So I have something kind of like that already. It's in different tabs showing 2020, 2021, and then I have a comparison graph of what it looks like. So I send that over to you.
That'll be great, because I think that would be a lot easier for us to see it. And I just noticed, I guess Schaumburg never finished the irrigation replacement yet. The
There's
north part
another
of
side.
Schaumburg.
There's the other side, correct.
So we
South
only,
side.
I think it's right by Saratoga community. So that's still, because I think when they replaced the irrigation system, that's when they changed the size of the rocks, right?
Correct,
They are
yes.
much bigger.
Correct.
Okay,
Especially near the floodgates.
yes,
We do the chunkier rock, and then in the other areas, it's
Right.
the 3/4 inch rock.
okay. So when is that gonna, there's a couple of leaks. Yesterday when I walked, I didn't see it, but the day before they were.
Schaumburg isn't, I'm not gonna say it's not important, but we have more areas that are
That's-
recommended.
Okay.
That is being, that will be recommended to the board in July from Brightview.
Meeting's over.
Thank you. I don't know what happened. It's just the ghost of
Meeting over.
You guys are like, I mean, I was like, what just happened?
Jeez.
Dang, we're talking about water, irrigation, that's what happened. It's a sore subject.
So yeah, so I apologize, that freaked me out. But
him.
Brightview is putting together a proposal for, I believe, farm, which is where we're seeing a lot of catastrophic failure there,
Okay.
as well as here on Elkhorn. So
Okay.
that will be provided to the board, and it would be up to the board's favor what decision they would make.
To make, okay. Yeah, so I think if we would have looked at comparison for water bills, then we know where we have replaced the irrigation, which the amount of money we put into. We want to know that it is return on investment.
Okay.
But remember, I remember she said with the new plants, that they're gonna take a lot of water. So I remember talking, because I'm
Right,
actually saying
right.
comparison, but it
Yeah.
may not show a significant decrease
Change,
just yet, because
exactly.
the plants are still
Yeah.
babies, so they need lots of water.
And again, you know, there are certain things that will affect the water as well. It's not just the landscaping. So if we're having a leak, if there's a main line water break, like I know we just had a situation on Grand Teton and Schaumburg where there was a main valve situation, and the board did authorize management to get a vendor out here. The vendor was actually gonna be like $2,500 per isolation, but we actually ended up working with American Leak Detection, which was about like $450, $500 for them to actually find the leak. And then we were able to have Brightview just fixed it at no cost. So that was like a $2,000
Wow.
savings that
Nice.
we were able to provide the association and just working with the leak detection. But those things, when it's a slow leak, it will affect one specific valve, but it's not just because of the landscaping. It is something else that may be a catastrophic failure that needs to be taken care of.
And I know I brought this up multiple times. I still see, I don't know what is the requirement by the city of Las Vegas, but I just still think a lot of plants that with the new irrigation replacement, they are too close to each other. Like the one we just replaced by the well, not far from Schaumburg. Remember, we just right by from Beacon Class to Schaumburg, we just replaced all that. And I just said, when I drive by, I'm like, why can't we just space out, maybe just take 2 more plants out instead of that close, because those are gonna grow fast.
Right.
And now they're gonna be so much landscape, and now we have to trim them down, we have to maintain them, we got more water. I really need the board and the management, work with the Brightview and go over how many footage are they from each other, what type of plant are they? Because I seen some of those, they call what, lantana, or those gonna grow so much, but then they like, I know right now they're small, but it won't take them long because I have them in my backyard. And they can grow so fast within a couple of years. And now we have to spend the money to maintain, to trim them down. We have to put more water. I really want the board and the management to, and we drive you to take very conscious effort on what type of plant, especially for, we still got quite a bit of area we haven't replaced irrigation. We need to do that. You look at Schaumburg, as we going forward, going to Great Teton on the right-hand side, by the well, you're going, keep going up. There's so many big plants, just like, they're just right next to each other. And I really think if they space out, they look great. They don't look that bad. And we would be able to reduce so much cost in the long run. So I know I had talked about that for over a year, probably 2 years now. And I'm still seeing way too many plants just right next to each other as we replace the irrigation systems.
Okay. I can definitely put that in the recommendation from the finance committee for the report. For the
Okay, thank you. And I want to get some feedback from the board. If they don't want to do it, what is the reason?
Got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Any question about the financial report?
Office supplies took a jump. What happened there?
So because we are responsible for maintaining the parks, we just want to make sure that we have toilet paper,
okay.
soap and everything like that. So we typically double up, especially in the summer months, because there is an increased amount of vandalism. People end up taking out the toilet tissue, and things of that nature. So we just want to make sure that toilet seat covers, soaps and everything like that are on deck so that we're not, not having it and then having to order it or having to shut down the restaurant.
You want to subclassify that, and it's misleading. It looks like you guys bought a whole bunch of paper.
It's only because of the 2020 budget. It's a catch-all. GL, so there's not anything in specific for
Yes, that's
supplies for the
nice
park.
to look at them.
Yeah, it's pretty bad over in Huckleberry. I won't even go in there anymore.
I won't, yeah, I won't.
I've been there since last meeting, where I'm not even, I should go in and check, but it's pretty bad.
Well, the good thing, so we've limited the amount of time that the parks are, the restrooms are open just because of vandalism and things of that nature. I mean, with an office of 5, and especially with everybody doing this, just their job duties and not having courtesy patrol on site to kind of replenish those things, we've limited the amount of time that the bathrooms are open just for cost effectiveness. We don't want to continue to send out the janitorial because we have a biohazard issue, or we don't want to shut them down because one of the stalls isn't working or somebody has written graffiti or whatever the situation may be. So now that we have a roving patrol that comes in between 3 p.m. and 7 a.m., when they get on site, they unlock them. When they leave, they lock them up.
Okay,
And then when the cleaning crew is here, they're unlocking them as well. And then it kind of like, it's kind of like on a shift of rotating just to assist with those types of concerns that management has seen an increase in.
okay, that's good. And just on the side note, the pickleball court and the tennis court, do they have to be a resident in order to use?
No, so it is a public park, so it's first come, first served for all of the amenities.
So there is no requirement for them to even try to log on, or, wow, how do we track liability?
Liability for someone to use the park.
Or even somebody get hurt on, we don't even know who they are.
So typically, if there is an issue, we do report it to the association's insurance, and it is that individual's burden of proof to identify how they got hurt, why they got hurt.
Okay,
We do have a playground equipment company that does come out and do inspections on the equipment to let us know if there is any potential liability. But because there is an increase in vandalism typically during the summer months, we always have somebody here anyways, because they're either removing something, replacing something. So management is very well aware of, if there's any issues with the park equipment. So if there was a situation where somebody did get hurt, the association is protected because we are utilizing third-party vendors to solidify if the equipment is in working condition or not. And if it's not, then we shut it down, caution it off. And if people tend to want to play with it, it's already cautioned off, that's really on them because the association has done everything in its power to shut down that specific amenity from being used.
so we don't even lock them, the gate is not locked, people can just walk in anytime?
We don't know.
Don't they lock the baseball court here by,
They've done
Like
it,
a walker?
they've locked it specifically if there's like an event or something going on, and we don't want people to be playing on it prior to an event, so
Okay.
that then we have to ask them to leave. But that's the only time that it's really been locked, is if there's an event and we're utilizing that area for staging, or if a vendor needs to go in there to set up for an event.
well, I didn't know this, anybody can use it.
It's
So
a public
it's-
park, we just maintain it.
Okay,
So we're responsible for the parks.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Everybody gets to use it.
Now, we're talking about the bathroom rental, I'm like, these are the people, we don't even know who they are.
It's a nice park. Those tennis courts are nice. I mean, I know it costs us a lot of money, but since we've been walking and zipping up all through places, that is a very nice park.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful park.
Unless I've missed something, do we have the variance report explanation?
It's at the bottom of the financial report.
You wanna review it?
Well, no, I just want to find it.
Normally it's on the separate,
It's usually, yeah.
yeah, on the separate report on the bottom, on
I
the,
went clear to the bottom, and I did not see it, of the financials, correct? I just didn't see I saw the variance report per se, but I didn't see the report with the explanations for the variances. And that's what's at the bottom.
Oh. Okay. I see what happened. I don't need it.
it only loaded one page. If you look at 96, it says budget variance analysis reserve statement. It only uploaded one page. I apologize.
Well, I just didn't see the written explanations instead.
Yeah,
And that's something that's that. It's just, um,
and we're gonna get the final back.
So I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm dealing with that.
What?
The OneNote.
I can't-
really
so
like the
I
OneNote
have
much
it.
better.
I
can
have
go
it.
out to
It
OneNote.
won't allow me to share, it won't allow me to share the document. So,
Oh, that remind me about, no, that
I
remind
don't know, and even with NetEffect, which is the administrator for the 365 account, they can't get it to sync either to where I'm able to share it with you. Like, everything has been uploaded. I just can't share the document.
That's so,
That is.
and nobody can help.
So I would think that NetEffect would be, because they are the administrator of our
Right.
365, and they can't get it. It's synced with my drive,
Yeah,
but I just can't send it for whatever reason. It shows me that it's there, all of the information has been updated. So I have a call to the CEO of the company, because I'm like, if your text can't figure it out, maybe there's something that you can figure out.
right.
So we're big for the license on this. I mean, it's really no good. I mean, I'm fine with this still anyway, but if they ain't the one that they should be able to.
Right.
All right, I could have done that here, yeah. Okay, so I don't know.
Oh, just, so you're gonna send that report out?
Yeah, I'm set it up right
And just one quick question. I thought we did not approve any of the community outreach, right, for 2021?
So there were certain things, but as far as the communities, the block parties for each sub-association, the board did approve those.
Okay, so that's
what
why
that
that's
is.
$300.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah, each sub-association
Gotcha.
received $150
Right.
for them to have their own community
okay.
events, but outside of that, there is no other donating to
right.
the schools
Yeah.
and Metro and all that kind of stuff.
And no decorations for the fourth, I see.
Yep, no decorations for the board.
And we budgeted for 4th of July, right? And that money should be saved.
Correct.
So did we, no decoration on 4th of July either?
Correct.
They don't want to spend the money, is that the?
Yeah, all lifestyle, spending has been suspended.
I have a question.
Yep.
Would you be able to prepare a treasury report? The last one I saw was before we dumped this $300,000 savings in reserve. Now that it did get put there, I'd like to see a new treasury report to show where we're at in offing the budget. Now that that money was put there. So when we start to do the 2022 budget, we can kind of see what we need, what hole we still need to fill, and what our focus should be as we set up the new budget.
What I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna do, so I probably won't have meetings on the 13th.
You may have prelim.
Okay. What I'd like to do is take, if I get June, I'll use June. If I just have May, then I'll just do May. I'm gonna do like, because the budget variable reports kind of go month to month, so that it doesn't show you like the whole year.
Right.
So I'm gonna do one that shows the whole year, what we've spent so far compared to what our budget so far, to give us an idea of what we have not spent and what we have spent more money on compared to, so I'm gonna do that, and hopefully I'll have that done pretty soon, because the meeting's in 2 weeks, 13.
I would
Yeah.
like to see it before our next meeting, but I assume that our next meeting is going to be the 2022 budget. I don't know, we haven't gotten it yet, but I'd love to have that information at the start. And you brought up the 4th of July stuff, we're not spending money this year, and I still want to budget for it for next year, so I want to have it next year, but we saved it this year, so I want to make sure that chunk of money gets put where it needs to go, so that's what I want to look at.
Well, we should be able to sit down in August. This is normally it's August before. right?
Yeah, so I already have raw data,
Yeah.
with percentages where we've already saved and stuff like that, geos that have not been utilized, so I have it for discussion purposes, but I've already started just dumping raw data into it, geo upload and stuff like that. So come July meeting, we can definitely just take a look at it as just a prepare for
Right.
August. And then come up with some recommendations that we already see where we can make some changes or adjustments accordingly. And then as I continue to build, until we're ready to present it to the board, at least we just have a working document that we can go off.
We're still looking for a position to work the budget here, office.
Accounting. So I haven't received any updates. I know that those resumes specifically are going to shared services just because somebody from that hierarchy, that leadership is going to be overseeing that position directly. But I don't want to say a hiring freeze, but there aren't a lot of people looking for jobs right now. So at this particular moment, I don't have an update just because I haven't been received anything.
Okay. Let's go over open comment period. Any questions,
I guess that was
any
my
new
only
items?
comment.
Yeah, mine too, I think I split it in more.
Anybody? No? 26, next week. Larry, you have anything? Larry, still on?
Larry, can you hear us?
Yes.
The committee's asking if you have anything that you'd like to contribute.
Not
Question?
at this time, no.
Okay,
Okay, so July 26. I may not be.
You're not.
I don't think so. I'm right now tentative to be out of town. It's still,
we can go up.
Trying to get the week before.
I could do the 19th.
I can do that.
Is that the month we're gonna go over financial report, budget planning?
So July 19th, like I said, I can provide the raw budget that I currently have just for discussion purposes. And
Yeah,
then we
okay.
can go into depth in August, but July would just be looking over June's financials.
Okay.
But I don't mind putting that on the, just to have it for something that we can discuss and look at.
So we need to be ready for August. That'll be our long meeting.
Yes, it's a schedule 2 hours. But you guys can have meeting if we have enough people on the 26th.
Yeah, there's still 4.
Yeah. Wanna just stick with 26, if I can make it. If I'm not out of town, I'll be here, but if I'm out of town, I'll let you know. Sure.
Or you go to the 19th, and I'm not here, it doesn't
How about Larry?
I'm here both those weeks as of right now.
matter.
It could change next week, but. as of right
Larry, do you
now, I'm
have
here either of
any
those days.
preference for meeting on the 19th of July or the 26th of July?
Those are Mondays.
Yes, sir.
Either one is fine.
Okay.
Let's just leave it as 26, that's what,
Okay.
I don't care, I'm just.
Not Adam.
Okay. And our next meeting is gonna be July 26th at 9 o'clock. No other questions and meeting adjourned. Anybody would like to make a motion?
You can make a motion.
To adjourn. I make a motion. to adjourn.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Larry.
26, I'll put it on just in case.
Do we know, I know it's not in Providence per se,